cause them couldn't go without. And in pursuit of riches, enough man take the girly road. But that I feed them thing that is not what my story about. This are for those who persevere.
All right, guys, welcome back. We indeed have a really good success story for you. Kenya Sims, a recent alumni of the Northern Caribbean University, joins us now via Zoom to share her motivating and aspiring, inspirational story of academic excellence. Kenya has secured a remarkable total of 17 scholarships, accomplished her degree without debt, and is the first in her immediate family to receive a degree. I kid you not. This is a story and a half. Good morning to you, Kenya.
Good morning.
Kenya, you look absolutely radiant this morning. You are just glowing from ear to ear. And it is my pleasure to speak with you this morning because, Kenya, you have such an incredible story. You started out your first year with an SLB loan, and you decided not to continue with that loan, and you pursued your passion, pursued your academic area of nursing, I read here, and you did that, came out debt-free, and 17 scholarships. Kenya, that's a story. And I wonder if you know that's a book. I wonder if you know that you can write a book right now, though. You could write a book right now where you are. How do you feel with this accomplishment?
I actually started to write one.
Oh, well, there you go. There you go. So let's start at the top, though, because I see here where you said, you know, God really carried you through everything. Was that the genesis of it all? Did He direct every one of your decisions?
Yes, He did.
So tell me how. Go into it. Can you hearing me?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
No, I was saying to you, my darling, can you tell us how you got here?
Okay, no problem. So when I was about to approach my second year, the Lord told me to come off student loan and to trust Him throughout the rest of my journey. Now, this was extremely hard because if you know anything about nursing, it is extremely expensive, almost $1 million per term. So it was hard to trust Him. However, I decided that I'm going to. So starting up, it was hard because, you know, it's always harder starting up. I received scholarships behind scholarships, and it was mind-blowing because God kept coming through. And even when I had final exams, I even received the favor from the president who granted me scholarship and permission to sit my final exam. In total, I received 17 scholarships, and that is just because of God. I remember one time I had an interview, and the gentleman, he said to me, "How is it that you received so much scholarship?" He was mind blown because it has never happened before, or he has never seen it. But I can say that with God, nothing is impossible, and He took me through, and now I am debt-free.
Wow. Incredible, 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 incredible. But there must be at some point in time when you're here pursuing, of course, you know, what's required of you in terms of your day-to-day class requirements, and then knowing that, okay, I don't know whether or not I would be accepted for this particular scholarship, because a scholarship process is that you apply, there's a wait period. During that period of wait, though, what was going through your mind?
I was worried. I cried a lot also. I have to be truthful. It was hard to trust God. Trusting God is never easy, especially when there is no other way or you don't see a way out. So for example, when my final exams were coming up, I was always worried. I kept praying. I kept saying, "God, are you going to come through this time?" And even though He came through the semester before or the year before, it was always, I was in the same place because I was worried, is God going to come through this time? Most of the times He came through close to the deadline. And you know, that kept me on my feet because I was worried. And I was like, "God, what are you doing? You told me to trust you." But yet still, it's like 3 days or 1 week towards my final exam and I'm not yet cleared. But what I can say is that in all the situation, in all that I've been through, He has always come through. There wasn't one exam that I wasn't able to sit.
Wow. So, all right. So, we're going to go into strategies right now because, I mean, of course, trusting God is one of the strategies. Of course, performing
Yeah.
academically consistent is also a strategy. But let's talk about the other things that you had to do to kind of maintain your leveled head on this mission. Let's talk about those things that you had to do.
So, as you said, trusting God, I had to do that. I also had to make sure that my GPA was above 3.0 at every given point. Because when you're applying for scholarship, you have to make sure that your GPA is high or you won't be qualified. Also, there were persons, like lecturers, who also helped me in receiving scholarships. I remember there was this particular scholarship that I applied for, and the criteria that I didn't fit any of it. And I was worried because you don't fit the criteria, so more than likely you're not going to get the scholarship. And I actually got the scholarship. So, academical performance, trusting God, and the help of others was what actually took me through, and a lot of praying.
Yeah, and budgeting, of course, because you have to just, make the best use of what you have.
I have to.
Exactly, exactly. So how does this now, how is this feeling for your family? Because you're the first in your family now to get a degree. How are they feeling about your accomplishment?
For my daddy, he was overwhelmed. He was extremely excited that I made it through. I pushed through. And the thing is, when I came off student loan, I didn't even tell them. I didn't let them know because I didn't want them to worry. So I tried to trust God through. But afterwards, when I told them of how I actually made it through with only taking the student loan on my first year, they were amazed. And they're excited to know that there is a nurse in the family and I have pushed through all the challenges and the
Amazing.
obstacles.
Amazing. Kenny, you have a wonderful story. I can't wait to read your book. You're inspiring somebody this morning when they're watching you and learning about this journey that you decided to take on. Of course, trusting God along the way and doing your part by maintaining that amazing GPA level as well. So can't wait to see what you'll do next. And let us know when you release a book.
I will.
Thank you so much for joining us. Kenya Sims, NCU graduate. Much more to come right here on Weekend Smile when we return. Stay with us.